2, 3. Okay, today I'm going to talk about all the women that have been getting injured or killed in the last year. Has been really a sad thing to see. The latest one that's hit the news a few days ago, when a woman was killed by an illegal immigrant, she was dead, blunt trauma to the head. And the problem with that situation is a lot of women are killed by people other than illegal immigrants, but the illegal immigrant part of it just gets highlighted because if that person wasn't here, it wouldn't have happened. And it could have happened by, we have enough people to kill women in our country, we don't need any extra help. What I'm trying to say, if you're looking at it from a psycho's perspective, we have plenty of people with mental illness to kill people already here. We don't need any people coming here and doing it from another location. So what I'm going to do today is address a couple things for people who are in danger, mostly women. Men get killed as well. That's more drugs and gang stuff. This is more specific male versus female psychology, where these people do terrible things to women. And women have, I'm going to give you some tips if you want to defend yourself. I'm a retired cop, 25 years. I used to give neighborhood watch speeches, and I used to take a lot of reports, and I used to teach martial arts classes to women in my town for free, because I hate it when I see women getting hurt. So the thing I'm talking about today is something a lot of women don't like, is guns. And when it comes to a woman fighting a man, most of the time the men are stronger. And if they saw a woman that might be stronger, they probably wouldn't attack her. They go after the weaker ones, in their perspective. So I think the most easy to use, if you're not a martial artist, I'm not going to show you some difficult martial arts moves. If you're not a shooter, I'm not going to do that either. But two things in either case. If you take a martial arts and shooting, or separately, the first thing is never panic when you get in a situation where you're being attacked. If you do, you'll die. The second thing, if you're using a gun, never miss. If you do, you'll die. But the gun will back people off more than you getting into a karate stance. So if you had to choose the two, the one would be the biggest deterrent to one of these sick bastards is a gun. And they know a gun, regardless of your size or strength, has just as much power as a man holding that same gun. So it elevates you to equal combatees. He's the attacker, you're the defender, but you have a gun. That puts you at the top of the predator order. Now, like I said, you don't want to panic. What causes people to panic is during a high stress circumstance, something goes wrong. That's why a lot of people carry semi-autos, cops, military, and some people use revolvers. I carry a revolver. 25 years as a cop, believe me, I was never under gun. Won 12 medals in World Police and Fire Games. It's the Police Olympics, goes all around the world. And any gun to me, small gun, big gun, nobody, I don't care how big they are, I'll take them down. You can stop them from making you take them down if you present yourself as a threat. But if you have to shoot, you gotta shoot. And from this distance, even if you don't shoot very much, if you just practice pointing your gun in the mirror at home, get some practice rounds or dummy rounds. They don't fire, so it's no danger to anybody. And just practice every day. Brush your teeth, point, and you can see where the barrel's at in regard to where your eyes are at. You do that every day, pretty soon you're going to be like me. I can just point, and I don't even have to see the sights. At these close distances, I can have the gun upside down, I can be spinning around. Believe me, I won't miss at this distance. you won't either. You'll at least get it on target if you practice point shooting. Now, the reason I say the revolver is probably better for you if you're not a shooter is you don't have a lot of things to do with a revolver if it's loaded. I'll show you what a revolver looks like once I get out of this public area here. But a revolver, you pick it up, pull the trigger, it shoots. You can either pull the trigger, which is harder, and you don't have to cock the gun. When you pull the trigger, it spins the cylinder. The cylinder is what holds the rounds in. The rounds are the bullets with the case all together with the gunpowder. That's called a round, but the bullet is what comes out of the barrel at the end of the round, which I'll show you as well. So when you're this close, you're telling the guy back off. He's been stalking you or following you, and you tell him, what are you doing? Then the gun comes in handy. You point, you shoot. You shoot till he falls down, then you empty the gun, and you take off. It's hard for him to run with his lungs squirting out blood everywhere. But we're not talking about doing this in a criminal manner. This is a self-defense manner. Self-defense in most all states are basically the same, that you can defend yourself, including using deadly force. If someone is threatening you and they're using deadly force or impending deadly force, or they even tell you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or they won't back off, you tell them, I'm afraid, don't come any closer, that's when you have to pull the gun out, because at that point, when you have fear and it's serious, you can't ignore it. If he's a normal person and you pull a gun out and say back off, they're going to back off. If you say back off and he still stands there and tries to lean his weight forward, stuff like that, he doesn't intend to leave, then you might have to shoot. You either die or you're going to have to stop him from killing you. And if you get to a shoot range, you get lessons, it's even better. But the revolver is simple. You open the cylinder, put 6 in it, you close it. You can stick it in your holster. What's good, if you're like a runner, you can get, that little bag, shoulder bags, and you can put a revolver in there. And all you have to do is reach in, pull it out, and shoot it. You don't have to take safeties off. You don't have to put a magazine in. This close, you're going to either shoot him, stop him, or you're not. You're going to have time to reload it and everything else. You're not going out in a war zone. You're protecting yourself from one psycho. And when he crosses that line, you tell him to cross that line, I'm going to have to defend myself. You're going to have to defend yourself. It's your choice. Do you want to die, leave your family, or do you want to protect yourself? This is the line I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, just general stuff. He's scaring you. You repeatedly tell him to leave. He's making you get more scared, and he's getting aggressive. You see him shifting his weight and leaning. He's going to charge you. Males think they can overwhelm smaller people, boys or girls, women or ladies. That's what he's dependent on. And he doesn't think you might shoot him. And that's up to you whether you do or not. But if you don't want to go to prison, you have to be in that circumstance where you are convinced you are in threat of serious bodily injury. At that point, you can defend yourself with a deadly weapon or death. Now, somebody larger than you is smacking your head on the ground or choking you to death, that's serious bodily injury. And at that point, you tell them, you're scaring me, back off. And you yell and scream it so people at a long distance can see it. And you have some witnesses or somebody coming to help you. Remember, number 1, don't panic. Number 2, don't miss. Both are very important to survive these types of circumstances. So don't panic, don't miss. If you can get some shooting training in, do it. That's my dog, it's barking at somebody. And we'll practice in the mirror. Because at this range, just like pointing your finger. You're pointing the gun. You can point your finger at me from there. I'm closer than I look in the lens. And I can point at you. You can point a gun if you practice in the mirror, okay? Don't panic. Don't miss. And most revolvers, the smaller ones, have 5. The one I'm going to show you has 6 rounds. And it's just the smallest. It's a Colt Detective Special. And revolvers, like I said, are very reliable. If you get like a 38, they don't hit your hand very hard, they don't hurt you. If you are a shooter and you can handle more, you can get a 357 Magnum at the same size, but they do hit your hand a lot harder. If you can handle a harder hitting one, that would be better. But 38 Special with good bullets. Now, I'll say rounds. Rounds include the case and the bullet and the primer, okay? So if you get good rounds, and you get 2 or 3 in them, then he has to catch you. They're going to work too good because his lungs aren't going to work too good either. So don't panic. Don't miss. Revolver is simple. You want to keep everything simple. Simple, reliable, and that's what a revolver is. A semi-auto, which I'm carrying right now. The slide goes back, you see it in the military, the shells are flying out. Just the shells flying at your head makes you recoil, makes you move your gun around more because things are coming at your eyes and it's just reflex for you to move your head. You're not used to that zipping by, things are sliding in front of your face, your brain wants to protect your head, so when the slide's coming back towards your face, like somebody punching at it, it's going to make you move. A revolver's not going to do that, it's just going to go boom, kick a little bit, so it's not going to psychologically force you to jerk the gun around. You'll be able to shoot smoother if you're not a good shot. You won't be afraid of it if you're not a good shot. And you get the job done because the gun is easier to handle. Okay? That's the tip I have for you today. And I'll go somewhere else and show you the points of the revolver. So, you can see there's 6 holes for 6 rounds in the cylinder. You put each round in, shut the cylinder, shut the cylinder, and this thing's ready to roll. It's ready to go. Pull the trigger, and it brings around every time you pull the trigger and it shoots it. You can shoot it like this, double action, where it cocks and shoots, or single action where you cock it and shoot it. But you should never really cock it and shoot it unless your target shooting, maybe. For self-defense, you want to just pull the trigger, okay? You have 6 rounds. The Smith & Wessons have 5 rounds. Fits in the palm of your hand. It's very simple if you're a new person and you want to carry it in your fanny pack on your waist, because most women don't like holsters and guns because of the type of pants they wear without belts that pulls their pants down. This one you can put in the fanny pack, or you can use a semi-auto, but a semi-auto has safeties to worry about. If it jams, it's harder to clear. This one you just open it, pop rounds out, pop new ones in. So a revolver is probably your safest bet if you're a woman getting your first gun that you want to carry when you're out and about to save your own hide if you're forced to. Hope you enjoyed the video and could be safe out there.